This is Estero de Magdalena, a shanty town in the heart of Manila, surrounded by modern high-rises, bustling streets, and shopping areas. You never would imagine that a community could live here in such depravity until you come face to face with the reality. 3-story shanties sit on stilts on top of an open sewage trench, and thousands of people live here among oversized rats and the almost unbearable stench of sewage. We entered the narrow 4-foot tunnel with Pastor Cesar, who has ministered to the people of this community since the late 90s. Navigating the tunnel is like being in a mine shaft. It's dark, damp, and slippery. In the tunnel, we quickly found out how people live here. There's no privacy. Everything unfolds in front of your eyes. There are places where people shop, places where they cut hair, places where they do laundry, and places where they hang out. And then there are the homes, tiny 8 by 10 foot enclosures inhabited by entire families. We visited a woman who works with Pastor Cesar at one of the feeding centers in Estero.
This is my husband.
Yes? How are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon po. This is my daughter.
She had fans blowing everywhere to keep the smell of sewage from the open trench below their home from overpowering their senses. Tears welled up as she spoke of life in the slum and caring for her family. She lives here with her husband and 6 children in this tiny enclosure. 3 of her children are blind. Amidst all the personal hardships, this woman has found it in her heart to reach out to others. And she faithfully serves the hungry children of Estero by teaching them the Word of God and by serving them the food provided by Please Pass the Bread. We hugged her and continued our journey.
Watch your head, then watch your step here.
Next, Pastor Cesar brought us by one of the recipient families.
Okay, this is another part of the Estero de Magdalena where we have this feeding site for other children, other malnourished children. Ilang taon ka na, anak? 7. Yeah, he's 7 years old. This is Rochelle Lopez, one of our feeding beneficiaries. We have 6 from their family.
As we progressed through the narrow tunnel, Pastor Cesar stopped. He wanted to show us something.
Back in 2003, I came and Nanay Rusing here offered to let us build a room, and then this is where I stayed for 3.5 years. Nanay Rusing with me and some other mothers come over at night after after supper, and we start a small Bible study, and this is where their faith grew until they were baptized, and then their children and other families came and were taught one by one in this little room here.
As day turned into night, volunteers arrived with food for the hungry children. Before the food was served, the children participated in Bible studies designed specifically for their age groups. They were so enveloped in their Bible lessons and sang songs and recited scriptures with great enthusiasm.
Maliban sa akin, Exodus chapter 20 verse 3.
Eventually, as dinner time approached, the children lined up to receive their meal. We watched as the children ate their food, a healthy portion of rice, vegetables, and chicken. As the day grew to a close, we had a few minutes with Pastor Cesar. We asked him about the future of those living in Estero. Pastor Cesar lit up as he talked about a far-reaching plan to help 32 families out of the slum. Together they have found a small town where reasonably priced acreage suitable for farming is available.
The vision of getting these people out of this place came from the Bible itself. It was biblical. Abraham was the first when God called him, and then there's Israel when God called them out of the place and brought them to a land. We asked the association, the homeowners association, of this composed of these urban poor parents, to look for a place, and they found Laguna. That's a place that we are going now. That's a place that they want to start raising their families. They can see that the contrast from of the clean air, of the big surroundings, no buildings, but there's the school, there's health centers, and they can adapt to the place.
Here, parents will receive agricultural training and be able to farm their own land, and children will be able to attend a good school in the community. It's an exodus from a slum full of sickness and death to a place of new beginnings, a place of promise.